Sanbonani, Southern Africa, Sanbonani, Far Eastern Catholic News. This is Kati Dijane, and as promised, this sit-down interview, here it is, it's finally happening, a day after the launch of the 75-year anniversary of the establishment of the Archdiocese of Bloemfontein. I'm very excited to be sitting with His Grace, the Archbishop of this Archdiocese of Bloemfontein, Archbishop Zolile Mpambani, and I would like to thank him for this opportunity and for a warm welcome to his Archdiocese as we covered this special event yesterday, which was on the 11th of January 2026. Now, the whole purpose of this interview, Baba, is I'm on a mission to kind of like be a bridge between our bishops and the laity, especially in the conference, in the sense that it would be nice to get to know our bishops, including yourself, so that we can feel more connected to you as our bishops. So basically, this is just an introduction of your journey, and especially how it has been shepherding the second diocese, as you were once a bishop of Kokstad. So for us, it's just to get to know you as our bishop here in the conference, in the Southern African Catholic Bishops Conference that comprises South Africa, Eswatini, as well as Botswana, Francistown, and Gaborone Diocese. So, Baba, first things first, if you can please introduce yourself to our audience. Who is Archbishop Zolile? And if you can paint a picture for us on how growing up in the Diocese of Aliwal helped shape your vocation as a priest.
Wow, thank you. Greetings to you, Kati, and to all the listeners of the Far East Rand communications team. My name is Zolile Mpambani. I'm the present Archbishop of Bloemfontein Archdiocese. Well, like you are saying, things did not start here. I came to Bloemfontein on the 10th of June 2020. That was mid-COVID, and everybody was closing himself up in their houses and no masses, no nothing. But Pope Francis that time appointed me on Bloemfontein. The appointment was announced on the 1st of April 2020, and nobody believed because they thought it was an April Fool's announcement.
Considering it's COVID.
And but then they only believed when they saw it on the social media that this man is gone. And most unfortunately, many people in the outstations of Kokstad who, because everybody was up in their houses, no visiting the mission stations. So they did not know that they have lost their bishop to Bloemfontein for, for months, even others for the whole year. They only got to know that, no, the bishop is gone. So I came from Kokstad Diocese, where I worked for 7 years and 7 months. I was consecrated Bishop of Kokstad on the 3rd of August 2013. After my appointment there, which came on the 19th, can't remember the date now, I think it was 19th of, but the announcement, 29th of April 2013. The public announcement was made on the 6th of May 2013. So the ordination was on the 3rd of August 2013. I worked very well with the people of Kokstad. Very new bishop. I've never been prepared to be a bishop, as the Catholics always do. Came as a fresh priest to learn how to become a bishop in the Kokstad Diocese. So I learned that very well, prepared me very well for Bloemfontein, and now I find myself in Bloemfontein. Before Kokstad, where was I? I was with the Congregation of the Priests of the Sacred Heart, SCJs, in Aliwal North. And particularly that year, 2012, I had just been appointed parish priest of St. Francis Catholic Church in Aliwal North, where I worked for a year. While I was working in there, then I was elected provincial by the Priests of the Sacred Heart in October 2012. And then I started on the 1st of November 2013 my term as a provincial, but that term only saw 3 months, which was ended by Pope Francis when he appointed me to Kokstad. So But before then, I had been in the formation for almost most of my years as a priest, because I was 18 years in formation, be it here and be it in Rome as a general counselor, where I was also in charge of formation worldwide of the SCJs. Before then, I've always been at home. I was ordained a priest in 1987, 25th April 1987, after my studies at St. Joseph's Theological Institute in Pietermaritzburg, Sidara. Born in a family of 9, I'm number 5 in that family. But now we are left 4 of us, 2 brothers and 2 sisters. The others have already gone ahead of us, as well as my parents. And so, grew up in a very Catholic family. You know, my grandfather was the first one to join the Catholic Church in 2023 when the missionaries came.
1923,
sorry. 1923. So he was the first one to join, and many people in the village then followed him to join in there. So he was a very strict man. And we grew up Catholics in my home, and I felt the vocation already at the age of 6, I must say. And then I told my parents at the age of 8, I was doing Sub-B at that time, that I wanted to become a priest. And then that's where everything started. And they gave me a go-ahead. They gave me a nod, say, yes, we can go ahead. Well, not without questions, because my mother asked me 3 questions in my life when I told them that I wanted to become a priest. First question was that, you know that when you're a Catholic priest, you're not going to get married, you're not going to have children. I said, no, I don't know, but I still want to become a Catholic priest. The second question from my mother was, do you know that when you're a Catholic priest, you're not going to earn a salary at the end of the month, and therefore you're not going to be able to support us, and we're not going to be looking up to you for any support? I said, well, if you say yes, I'm game. I want to become a Catholic priest. The third question was, you know that when you're a Catholic priest, it's like we are giving you for free to the church. You're not our child anymore. You belong to the church, so the church can do anything they want to do. I said, if you say yes to that, I want to become a Catholic priest. And she said, good luck. And all my father said was, no, you're still young. No, you are going to change your mind. I never changed my mind. Till today, I still don't intend changing my mind, because I've always said until death. Thank you, Kati. I think I've said briefly my life, what it meant to contains.
It was a mouthful, which is fantastic. But you were 6. But at 6, Tina Bislalanga toys, we thought nothing about these things. So how did God talk to you at the age of 6 for this? And I'm asking this in the context of, trying to help the young person discerning this vocation, because it comes in different ways. But you at 6, how did you know that this is what God is calling me to do?
Well, this is simple. Like I told you, we grew up Catholics in my family. So we used to go to Mass every Sunday. And so when we go to Mass, I would watch the altar boys serving. And I wanted to be an altar server too. But the big boys were refusing us to serve on Sunday, saying you're too young. You have not even received communion. But then I thought, okay, the only way I'll be able to be an altar server is to go for Mass from Monday to Saturday at 6 o'clock every day. I was at Mass from home, and serving alone, literally every day from the age of 6 until then they allowed us, the bigger boys to serve. I actually taught many bigger boys how to serve as altar servers. So that's when I received my vocation, because as I was an altar server there, my wish was to be on the other side of the altar, not this side. So I always imagined myself, standing and celebrating Mass next to my parish priest, as young as I was. And actually, after my ordination on the 25th in 1987, on the 26th, I celebrated my Thanksgiving Mass. And only when I was standing next to my parish priest, because he was still my parish priest, he was there for more than 30 years. So he was standing next to me, concelebrating, and I was the main celebrant. As we were standing there, then I realized, okay, this is the fulfillment of my dream.
Yes.
And I was so happy, to see that this dream is being fulfilled today.
And he was there as a priest concelebrating.
He was there as a priest
Wow.
concelebrating with me. And what I dreamed as a 6-year-old was fulfilled.
Wow, that is so amazing. Wow. And I think another question that came in me when you were talking about being a formator.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I think formators have a very big influence on how they form priests, isn't it?
Yes, that's true.
So what does that entail, and how do you help priests or seminarians decide the kind of priest that they want to be? Because some come out very good priests, some come out very traumatized priests. So like the role of a formator in helping the priest become the kind of priest that they choose to be, or does it have something to do with personality? Or as formators, do you kind of like intentionally sometimes become difficult so that you can train them from the outside world? So can you share with us what formators really do to help shape the priest that we have in the church?
Kati, as you are saying, formation is not a very easy task to do. And let me start by saying this. I had to learn, I learned a long time ago, that in order to become a formator, you need to be well prepared yourself as a formator. I learned it from our constitutions of the SCJ constitutions. So first thing, when my superior asked me after 5 years of formation, because after 87, he asked me in 1992 that they want me to become a formator. Then I said to him, fine, no problem, I can do that, but I need preparation before I do that. And when he said, no, you don't need preparation because you're fresh from the seminary, your black brothers, you also know the mentality, the culture and everything. I simply said to him, I may know the mentality, I may know the culture, I may know how we behave, as black young fellows, but I don't know what formation is all about. So I want to know what formation is all about. That's why I need preparation. And then when he insisted that, no, I can start without, then I said to him, well, if you say I can go and prepare myself, I say yes. But if you refuse, then I'll say no. I'm not going to become a formator, which I don't know. And finally, then he consulted with his counselors, and they agreed. And then he asked me, where do you want to go? I said, no, I want to go. I asked one of my friends, the now Archbishop of Devon. He had been to St. Anselm's. I asked him, the place where you've been, is it good for preparation for formation? He said, yes. I recommend it 101%. Then I told him I want to go there. So I went there. That was 1992-93 in preparation for formation. There, I learned that what my formator, Tsidara, did to me was actually what formation needs to be all about. You spoke about some priests who come out, good and well, and some others who come out, you put it like traumatized. That's why I laughed. What formation is all about? First of all, the formator is not responsible for forming. He is not forming the other students. He is helping the students to form themselves. Is to give tools to those who are being formed so that they can be well formed. Now, one of the most important things in formation is accompaniment. What is accompaniment? Accompaniment is meant to help whoever is joining priesthood to offload whatever psychological baggage he is bringing in with himself, so that he can make informed decisions about his future, informed decisions about what he wants to do. Because the big question is, who are you? How do you behave? And why do you behave the way you do? And then you'll find out that the way we behave is not our choice. It's the choice of the society, choice of the family, of the parents, of everyone who influenced you as a child. And therefore, all those things, some of them very good, some of them traumatic. And if somebody comes in with something that was traumatic and then he is not helped to clean his system, because every negative thing that happens to a person, or especially children, the system keeps them very well. And then when you go and join formation, if you are not helped to offload all that psychological baggage that you bring in, you are going to go in through and you pass to go to the other side, and woe unto the people you are going to be working with because you are traumatized. Say you have anger with you, and that if that anger, you are not helped to get rid of the anger while you are still in the formation, you are going to go through to the other side very angry, and then you're going to be a very angry priest. This is one of the things that formation must make sure that it happens. Most unfortunately, it does not happen to all. Not all our formators are as well prepared to accompany the students in formation. And when they are accompanied, help them offload, because there's so much in our life that has shaped us, which is not good, and so much also that is very good. So the background, our backgrounds determine who we become in the future, and the formation needs to help us with those.
Okay. I just have few more questions that I have. Now let's come back to this Archdiocese of Bloemfontein. So you were installed the Archbishop in June, a very special man, because you're from the Order of the Sacred Heart. And so I think your story has been told. I'll share links if I need to in terms of how your journey began. They can read the Southern Cross. You can go to YouTube and find out really exactly how the journey came about. But I think for me, one of the interesting questions, well, not interesting, but questions that I have, it's been 6 years being here in this archdiocese. And what would you say have been some of the highlights and challenges of shepherding this archdiocese, and what is your vision for this archdiocese, especially as you are launching the celebration of the 75-year anniversary of its formation as the archdiocese?
Well, Kati, you realize that I came from Kokstad, which is almost completely rural diocese. And the people in the villages and the rural townships, they are far different from the people of the city and the rural, the people in the city, in the townships, in the cities. The mentality, I guess also who you are succeeding it plays a very big role. Because in Kokstad, I succeeded a very outgoing bishop, a bishop who was out for people. And the people of Kokstad had that free, kind of interaction and relationship with the bishop. And we worked very well. They were very responsive, I must say. And then when I was transferred to Bloemfontein, like I said, I came during the COVID time, and I never got to meet the people. Very few were at my installation because the number was 50. And then later on, when I tried to interact with them, I realized that, the people of Bloemfontein are quite aloof. They say that themselves. We know the bishop from the altar, so we don't know the bishop from amongst us. And me being, who I am, I have a very open policy. I want to interact with the people because what Pope Francis said in one of his speeches, that we as the shepherds, we need to smell like our sheep. Now, smelling like your sheep means you need to be amongst your people. You need to be with your people. But then if they, see the bishop only from the altar and at the altar and thereafter he must disappear, it's far from smelling like your sheep. So And one other thing that Pope Francis had said, he said, when you are a leader, you need to lead from the front so that your sheep can follow you. You also need from the back so that you can see that your sheep are not, staying behind. You also need to lead from the midst of your sheep so that you can be able to see which ones are getting sick, and then you can be able to help them. And all those, sayings have been very helpful to me. And this is what I am trying to do. One of my main visions is that the lay people must be well formed and empowered, because to remain, in not knowing what the church is teaching and what is happening, then it deprives one of being a very good and knowledgeable Catholic. So the formation and the empowerment of the laity is what I would want to see happening in many ways. And you'll discover that many Catholics don't know much about Scripture because they don't read the Bible. So wherever I go and preach, I always encourage them, pick up the Bible and read, because that is going to make you knowledgeable, that is going to enrich your faith. And also prepare yourself before you come for Mass. Make sure that you pick up your Bible, you read, or you pick up your missal, you read, just like you prepare your suits, your dresses before you go to Mass. Pick up your Bible and read, because you'll find that I am very fond of asking people, what was the first reading saying? And you'll discover that the Catholics didn't hear what the first reading was saying. What was the second reading saying? They don't know what was second reading saying. They might have glimpse of the gospel because they are normally dramatic. And so it's because of the lack of preparation. Catholics need to learn to prepare by reading their scriptures, because there's two things happening at Mass. It's the table of the Word and the table of the Eucharist. We get fed from both tables. When the priest is there reading and preaching from the table of the Word, everybody must know that I have read that scripture. The priest is simply confirming what I have told myself, what I have fed myself. Because if you hear it for the first time from the pulpit, you are going to forget by the time you walk out of the door. So preparation of the readings for Mass is very important. And also preparation for the reception of the Holy Eucharist is very important, because we don't receive Holy Eucharist when we remain in sin. So we need to go to confession, which is quite neglected by many Catholics nowadays. Many people don't know what confession is, and they don't want to go to confession, but they want to go and receive the Holy Communion, which is quite the opposite. So we have a lot to teach our people what the liturgy is all about and what the Eucharist is all about, what everything. They need quite a lot, and I often encourage my priests to catechize from the pulpit. I say catechize from the pulpit, part from the word you have just read, and teach the people what the Catholic Church is teaching.
Mm-hmm. And the second last question I have, Baba, is the SACBC. There's going to be a conference, a plenary, upcoming plenary, and I think one of the things that might be discussed is celebrating 75 years of the hierarchy of the Church in Southern Africa. Yesterday we saw the launch here in the Archdiocese. Now I would like to ask, as the first Vice President of the SACBC, what exactly does your role entail? And if you can also share with someone who knows about the SACBC in terms of the term, but how can they relate to it, especially if they're at a parish level and maybe might find it difficult to relate as the bishops seem so far away from them. So if you can share exactly what the conference does for that lay person who might not be necessarily involved within the conference itself.
Yeah, I'm saying what you are saying, as people think or feel far away from the bishops, it's not supposed to be like that. People are supposed to be first informed, what the whole conference is about. Let me start by saying the conference has its own organogram, its own structure, which is comprised of departments. We have one of the departments I ever headed was the Department for Formation, Life, and Apostolate of the Laity, which has to deal with the lay people. And then that means whoever's in that department has to deal with the sodalities, the youth, the tertiary students, marriage and family life. That touches the life of the faithful. So the faithful are not supposed to be fined. In all those departments, there are representatives from every diocese. And every diocese, take for example, when we talk about marriage and family life ministry, every diocese has to have a marriage and family life ministry desk, which is linked to the SACBC, Marriage and Family Life Ministry office. And that's how then we get linked with the laity. They are supposed to know everything that is happening there. We have seminarians, department for the clergy and for the seminary. And the seminarians, our seminarians know, they come from the families, and they're supposed to talk about these things even when they come back home. And there's always that link. So as I was giving you the example about the department for laity, we created a structure as bishops, which is called the Council for Laity. And this council meets once a year, be it in February or March, but basically in February. And those who go there are the chairpersons of the Diocesan Pastoral Council. What is their role? Their role is to act as liaison people between the laity and the bishops. Whatever they discuss in February is supposed to reach the bishops. They are supposed to go and meet there and report about the concerns of the laity, the questions that the laity has. And that means the laity has to talk, and the chairperson of the diocese or of the archdiocese is supposed to be in touch with what is happening, be it with sodalities, be it with the Diocesan Pastoral Council or all the councils, and he hears what is happening in there. To give you an example, if the laity, are going to be asking, look, we're having so many people who are joining Ubungoma and who are very much concerned, this is one of the biggest things. This question then was brought to the bishops from the very laity. The bishops took it up. They asked some people to make some research about Ubungoma, and the response is going to be given. And many other questions that are asked, the responses get given. So there's a link between the bishops and the lay people, let alone that the bishops are not working alone, they are working with the priests. So when we come back from the plenary session, we often have meetings with the priests, who are supposed to have meetings at the ordinary level and precipitate down whatever we have spoken about at the diocesan meeting. And so this link is there. It's supposed to just be communication that needs to be done.
Actually, awareness is supposed to be done.
Yes,
actually,
yes.
The bishops are not as far away as people think. So if you can briefly say then what your role is there as the first vice president.
Well, in the conference, Southern African Catholic Bishops Conference, we have 3 presidents. We have the president, the main president, and we have the first and the second vice president. It's called the Troika. And then these people, are supposed to be there to make sure that the meetings and the facilitation of the SACBC is done well. And we are also there to talk together, to shape, also the plenary sessions, and to make sure that we propose things to all the bishops. And we also have what is called the board meeting, which is comprised of all the archbishops and the head of the departments. We talk together. It's not only the 3 of us. We normally talk together with the board. It's not that we are dictators as 3. We are very much consultative. So this is what is happening. And then my role is, as a vice president, I also had the Theological Advisory Committee, because the bishops have to be advised theologically what is happening. To give you an example, as we are working on the research of Ubungoma, we are not just going to give a response and say this is what must be done. The response that we give must be theologically sound. We must also include the theological point of view in our responses. That's one of the things that is happening in there. And then one of my roles also, when the president is not there, then it's me was to take over together with the other vice presidents, even in chairing the meetings.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the last question that I have for you, Baba, is I know that the SACBC will communicate along with various other media outlets like your Southern Cross, Radio Veritas, even the communications desk at the SACBC in terms of the 75-year anniversary. If you can just share what that means to the Catholic community. What is the 75-year celebration that we're going to be embarking on when it comes to the hierarchy of the church?
The 75, whether it's commemoration or celebration, let's call it commemoration. The 75 years commemoration of the hierarchy of the church commemorates exactly what happened. That was when the whole hierarchy was put into shape, also by instituting the 4 archdioceses, alphabetically: Bloemfontein, Durban, Bloemfontein, Cape Town, Durban,
Transvaal, which is
Pretoria. Okay. Yes, so all 4 of those, they were instituted then when the hierarchy began, and then the whole Southern African Catholic Bishops' Conference took shape. At that time, you'll remember that Lesotho was also part of SACBC, Namibia was also part of SACBC. I also heard that actually even Zimbabwe was part of SACBC. But as time went on, those 3 then separated due to practical and particular needs of their countries. So now we are remaining with Eswatini and Botswana, even though they also have their particular needs, but we do get to treat them in the conference. So the celebration means this was done 75 years ago. So we're acknowledging that because we're still holding, firm the structure as the present Catholic Bishops' Conference, and this is going to continue. So we're just saying we're commemorating this and saying thanks to Rome for instituting the whole thing. That was when also the Bloemfontein, that's why also Bloemfontein is celebrating 75 years. We simply chose to do something about it so that we can continue with the awareness making of the faithful. And as we talk about grace from God, as we talk about faith, as we talk about empowerment of the laity, when we have something to celebrate, then we can remind the people of what this means, what is our role now, what do we need to do as we take this jubilee year. For example, in Bloemfontein, is not separated from the celebration, from the commemoration of the hierarchy. So this is what we are doing, we're wanting to make the people aware of what is happening.
And this is how we are wrapping up this interview. Thank you so much, Baba. We are hoping that after this chat, people will get to know one of our bishops. Don't worry, I'll come to your diocese soon. And I'll make sure that our bishops are well known. And thank you so much for joining us, Baba. Take care.
It's my pleasure, Kati. Thank you very much also for affording me this opportunity to say something about myself. No, it's very true that our people don't know who are the bishops of the SACBC. And it's our duty as bishops to inform them in one way or another and inform them of what we are doing. Even at the AGMs that we have, people get to know who are our bishops. Thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you very much. And until the next video, guys, enjoy the rest of your day.